Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. And today's deck is an update that is also a viewer request. So Darth Doomer 666, this deck is for you. And the request was, can we make the Mayakashi mill? Can we redo it? Can we update it? Because again, when I did this the first time, we were using, I believe it was 2 Pots of Desire. And, sorry, there goes my voice already. And that has since been limited to 1. So was there a way to update it? And also, can we maybe take care of things that do want to hurt us as far as like the hand traps? So the answer is yes. And the answer is we're going to go ahead and take care of this right now. So getting into the main deck real quick, we're going to have 3 copies of Daki. Daki is very important for the mill as it continually respawns every time we have an extra deck Mayakashi hit the field. Hajun, 3. Hajun, again, very important. This is a great way on a single play. You summon the Hajun, you can special summon Daki out of deck, and this makes a layer of consistency that's just amazing, and something that this deck really needs, because otherwise it's just a really fun glass cannon. When it goes off, but if it gets hit, it shatters. Other monsters we're going to need. We're going to run 3 copies Mizuki for our graveyard effect. He's pretty self-explanatory. 3 copies of the Soul-Absorbing Bone Tower because it does not mill without this card. And 1 copy Ash Blossom and 1 copy Nibiru. And it's going to make sense when we get into the spells because the rest of the deck is spells. So real quick, guys, take the screenshot, pause the video, make your notes, whatever you guys got to do. And we'll go ahead, we'll cut, and we'll come back with our spells, all right? All right. So for the spells, we're going to start off with 3 copies, The Book of Life. Again, great extender. And once we start attacking the opponent's deck, very viable to bring back our own stuff. One of our protection spells we are going to be using is a single Called by the Grave. And let's make those 2 hand traps make sense. 2 copies of Crossout Designator. And really, this is what's going to allow us to play through and why we're only running singles of the hand traps. We don't want to use them. We don't want to see them. We want to banish them. We want to be able to play through them since we are combo oriented. I know this really takes the deck out of being a budget build, but it is what it is. And this is the way to overcome those weaknesses. Single card destruction. 3 copies Dark World Dealings. 3 copies Double Summon because again we do need to get our cards on the board. A single Foolish Burial. Triple of the Hand Destruction. 3 copies of the Mayakashi Return. And again, this one's super important because this will let you have access to Hajun. So it's like having 6 copies of him in the deck. Single Monster Reborn. Single 1 Day of Peace because again we're not winning by damage. Single 1 for 1. Again, Hajun, very important. Single Desires. Single Reasoning. And Reasoning is actually crazy in this. Because if we go back through the monsters real quick. You got your 2. You got your 1. You got your 4. You got your 3. And unfortunately, you have your 3. And I want to say Nib's 10 or 11. I'm not going to sit here and count the stars. It's not common knowledge to me, so I don't care. And finish out the deck at 40 with a single Upstart Goblin. Because again, life points aren't going to matter. The whole point is to punish our opponent's build and literally just make it so that you just can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! So guys, one more time, screenshot and or pause, make notes, please and thank you, and I'll be right back with our extra deck. And the extra deck is actually fairly simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to run 2 copies each of the Mayakashi Synchros. And rather than try to pronounce their names, I'm going to go with their star levels. So you want 2 3s, 2 5s, 2 7s. Sorry, I have 3 7s because I wanted to make this a 15 card extra deck. I was actually stuck at 14. That is good to note. 2 of the 9s, 2 of the 11s. And then again, I'm going to be running 3 copies of the Link to Yuki-Onna because again, what we can do is we can should be able to quickly go from the Daki and Hajun to the 3, to the 5, 7, 9, 11, then Link, then Link, then Link, just to punish the opponent deck real hard, real quick. And then I finish it off with a copy Yuki-Onna, the Absolute Zero. I don't always get this. But when I do, it is because we have had thrown enough copies of Mizuki away and been able to resolve the effect. So that is all there. Guys, if you want a test hands, come back tomorrow. We're going to do a couple test hands. I'm going to show the Ascension. It'll be fine. But regardless, if you guys enjoyed this, do consider subscribing to the channel. It helps support us. If you have done that, maybe go ahead and hit the notification bell. That would be awesome as well. Let your friends know about the channel. That helps us grow. But the most important thing for me is that you guys go out and try to have a great day, okay? That's all I want from you. You guys have a great day. If you are only here for the deck list, get out there and enjoy it. Everybody else, we are about to go through this deck and do that arduous task where we discuss every effect in the deck. So let's get that sorted back out, and we're going to start in the main. So starting with the main, we're going to have Daki. This is going to be our 2-star tuner. This is how we continually jump our levels. You can only control one of these at a time. When a Mayakashi monster is special summoned from the field to the field from the extra deck. A little dyslexia there. When we do that, and this card is in the graveyard except damage step, we may then special summon this card. You may not special summon monsters from the extra deck except Mayakashi monsters the turn you do this, which is why every card in our extra deck is a Mayakashi. Otherwise, like a good 15th card could have been something like Vampire Sucker. But again, we lock ourselves into the effect on the first time that we summon this from the discard pile. So again, in order to make the plays flow, just go ahead and like fully do out your extra deck that way. Next up will be Hajun. He is our 1-star. When his normal/special, you may special summon a Mayakashi monster from the deck with different name. Again, you're going to go to Daki. And again, this is the reason for the 1-for-1 and all that other junk. You can only use this effect of Hajun once per turn, which is fine. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Mayakashi. So again, between these two wonderful monsters, that is a reason why our extra deck is archetype locked. But it works. We're just going for the OTK. Next up will be Mizuki. You banish this while it's in your discard pile to target a zombie in your discard pile and special summon it. So again, maybe you accidentally threw out your Hajun, or maybe you did it on purpose because you're a smart cookie. You can go ahead and bring it back using Mizuki. The soul-absorbing Bone Tower. If we control another zombie monster, our opponent cannot attack this for targeted for attacks. This is not the effect we want. The effect is every time a zombie monster is special summoned, we want to be able to send the top 2 cards of the opponent's deck to the graveyard. And I was asked, because of this effect, would it be viable to play Zombie World in this build? And the short answer is no. While it can work, and again, a loop-heavy deck could make it happen, you would really have to bank on that 1 day of peace coming up so that you're not a lost condition on your opponent's turn. That's really what it comes down to, and that's unfortunate. But it is what it is, guys. I tried it. It didn't work. And then we are just using these guys to stop these guys from being used against us. So there is no need to cover it. This will just stop our special summon from the deck. And Nib will stop our entire loop by freezing our field at the 5th summon. So it is what it is. The Book of Life. And again, once we start milling our opponent's deck, they're going to have monsters in the graveyard. We could target one of our fallen zombies and one monster in their graveyard. Special summon our monster while banishing theirs. So again, very good. It's like having 4 monster reborns in the deck. I love it. Call by the Grave lets us play through their hand trap. Card Destruction lets us refresh our hand at any point. While again, forcing on cards out of our opponent's deck, which is important. The Crossout Designators. Declare a card name, banish 1 from our main deck, and if we do, negate the effects as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of cards with same original name till end of turn. Activate only 1 of these per turn. This helps us get through the Nibiru, and it can help us through the Ash Blossom as well. Dark World Dealings, again, each player draws 1, drops 1. Since this is better than, I'm forgetting the name of the card. We used to use it. It was essentially the same effect, but your opponent selected the card that gets out of your hand. Excuse me. Time for some water. All right. This is the better variant because, again, we get to pick and we get to choose. So it's not that our opponent's going to hit our combo pieces, but again, it's important because we're also going to hit the opponent's deck. And that's why we need it. The double summon, again, we opted not to go with Call of the Mummy this time, just because it's an additional card that's going to use the same effect. We can focus in on the Mizuki if we need to. And this allows us to set up the Bone Tower and then set up our Hajun. Play Foolish Burial again. If we need the Mizuki out, great. If we already have a Mizuki out, this could be our Bone Tower to get that play. Or if we have the Bone Tower in hand, this could be the Hajun. We just want to be able to solidify our plays as best as possible, streamline the play, and get into our combo as fast. Hand Distro. This is again going to have us both players sending 2 from hand to discard to draw 2. So again, we are going to be able to attack the opponent's deck. And technically, we can win on our turn 1, our opponent's turn 0, by forcing them into a draw situation where they fail to draw. And again, cause game condition without them ever having their turn. Mayakashi return. Take a Mayakashi card from the deck, accept return, and then either add it to the hand or send to graveyard. So we can do Foolish Burial or add it to the hand, our choice. You can only get one of these per turn, which is fine, but it is good. It is powerful. Monster Reborn, you guys get it. 1 Day of Peace, we both draw a card again. So again, we can force that condition. And also, neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn. Maybe you failed to fully mill and you could finish up on the next turn. 1 for 1, power out the Hajun. Pot of Desires, basically our Pot of Greed. We need our extra deck. The only one that could work is maybe Pot of Prosperity, but mine are water damaged, and I have still yet to replace those. Reasoning, because we do get a cheeky summon off of that. And Upstart Goblin again, because life points don't matter as long as we draw. So again, 40 card main deck, pretty budget until you get into okay, you're only going to spend on 1 Ash. That's $20. Maybe you already have it. Nib, I'm not sure what the price is. Again, we got the gold reprint. Should be budget-ish. Called was just in a structure deck with the Albaz Strike. Designator's probably going to be one of the more expensive cards in our main deck. Going into the extra deck. Again, we don't really need their effects, but we're going to go over their effects. And it's basically just a climb. So on 3... if a synchro monster in your possession whose original level is 5 is destroyed by battle, or an opponent's card effect while this is in the graveyard, banish another zombie in the graveyard if you do special summon this card. So again, they do have this downgrade effect, where it's this whole reason to have done the whole synchro climb anyway. If this is special summon from the graveyard, you can activate this effect. This turn, your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, which is fine. Tsuchigumo, we're going to skip the summoning effects. If it's special summon from the graveyard, each player can send the top 3 from the deck to the graveyard. And again, we may want to do this. This is actually a good effect with Tsuchigumo, and we could use that in a pinch. Tengu, if special summon from the graveyard, destroy a spell trap the opponent controls. That's fine-ish. Graceful Mayakashi, if special summon from the graveyard, destroy a monster the opponent controls. That's okay. Gashadokuru, didn't think I was going to get that. Off special summon from the graveyard, activate the effect. This face-up card is unaffected by other card effects. Yukiona, you can only control 1. While this card points to a synchro monsters, your opponent monster cannot target this for attacks. If a synchro monsters in your possession is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect while this card is on the field, target 1 face-up monster on the field. Its attack and defense become half. Current attack and defense until the end of the turn. Only use this effect once per turn. And Yukiona Absolute 0, 2+ zombies for Link 4. Only control 1 of these at a time. Negate any activated effects of the opponent's banished monsters. If a monster is special summoned from the graveyard or an effect activated in the graveyard, target 1 other face-up card on the field, changes its attack to 0. If do negate its effects, you can only use this effect up to twice per turn. So a little different. It's just all about the climb. That's all it is. Come back tomorrow. We will have our quick test hands, and we'll just see whether or not we could take out 40 cards. So I'm going to get a stack of 40 cards, and we'll do what we do. See you guys then. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Later.